If she had only been ugly.
Hi, I'm Tom Irerra, live at the Laugh Factory, and I'm here with Greg Fitzsimmons, one of the strongest stand-ups, may I say.
Please.
My strongest stand-ups around, and better speaker than me. And he also has a bunch of radio stuff going on. I know you had a show on the Stern Network.
Yeah, 6 years now. I've been doing a show Monday
You could
nights.
have told me that the last time we did a podcast.
Would you like to come on the Sirius show?
Yes. Do anything
Just ask.
with you.
I mean, just ask.
Well, I don't want to ask because then it makes me seem like then you have to do it. If you ask me, then that's the polite way to do it.
You are like, you're gold. You're one of those guys, like, sometimes you book a guest and you're like, oh, man, I got to prepare. I got to write down a bunch of topics and maybe some directions to go in. And you come in and I just know that you've got that comic sensibility. If things are boring, you roll up your sleeves and jump in and make them better. And as a host, it's nice to have that in a guest.
It is, I know. The worst thing are one-word answer guys that are guys that defer to you, or like the worst thing I get is, man, I've been watching you for such a long time, always liked you, and thinking, I know I've been around a long time. It's passive aggressive.
It's passive aggressive, and the worst thing, and I'm just starting to get this now, and take this for what it's worth. When people say you're a legend,
Oh, I hate that.
that means it's over. You're in the past
You're already
tense.
a legend.
Yeah.
What am I, Babe Ruth?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so demeaning to me because whenever somebody says this guy's a legend, I get disappointed that it's me. I'm expecting somebody. I'm expecting Robin Williams or
Yeah.
somebody who's like really like a legend.
Yeah, and
don't-
I think the word genius and the word legend are thrown around a little loosely these days.
Genius, really.
Yeah.
Legend, definitely genius. Not as much in comedy, but in general, especially music.
Yeah.
I mean, like John Lennon, I think he mocked when he was called a genius, which I think he was. But
Yeah. Who do you think the real geniuses are in music?
music that are contemporary, Eminem for sure.
Yeah.
As a writer. David Bowie. I mean, like how far back you want to go?
I mean, I go all the way back. You know who's a genius is Nina Simone. You know
I don't
Nina
know.
Simone?
Yes, I do, but I couldn't
Jazz
say.
singer, but very, very, she studied classical music up until through Juilliard and all that, but then
Yeah.
she was also like an angry Black Panther. And so she brought all this energy to
I'd
jazz.
like to get one of those in the sack, huh?
Right. Oh,
Black
shit. She
Panther.
pushed back.
You call that a dick, motherfucker?
You put that shit in yet? Pushing back to where you're really afraid for your dick.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, besides the obvious, like, Beatles and people like that, some people just have a knack,
Yeah.
of doing brilliant stuff or saying brilliant things. I mean, going back to Bob Dylan, who I think was the original rapper, if you look at rap and you look at the way he used words.
Mama's in the basement, mixing up the medicine. Dad's on the pavement, talking
Yeah.
about the government.
Look at that kid, did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was, I mean, like contemporary ones, it would be harder for me to name, like, other than writers. I mean,
Yeah.
is Usher a genius?
I don't connect with rap very much. I mean, I think some of it when it becomes pop, I really like it, but for the most part,
Yeah.
I just I like melody, and
I like harmony too, which you lack in that.
Right.
Because it's more like preaching and talking in a certain rhythm than it is singing.
Yeah.
Where Eminem does kind of both.
Oh yeah, and he's very experimental. He does all kinds of crazy shit. In that album.
He's like the Tiger Woods of rap. What are you gonna say?
I wish Tiger Woods could become the Tiger Woods of golf again.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Everybody thinks it's going to happen. I don't know. My friend got me watching golf, though. I got to say that.
Did you watch the PGA this weekend?
Well, I thought it was over. I thought it was rained out, so I didn't see the end. Of course,
Right.
I've seen the highlights many times, but I love that kid, Rory.
Rory McIlroy.
He's such an Irish, good dude.
Yeah.
That, he tries to be humble, but he's not stupidly humble.
Right.
He goes, when I'm on my game, let's face it, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like that because false humility is pathetic. Oh, I don't.
Right. No, I really feel like, and that's one of the things that I really feel like I could be better at is the false humility. I feel like, people say I'm great, and I just, it's hard for me to internalize it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it is hard. It's a hard. It's a hard compliment for a wise ass to take without saying, you know.
I was totally kidding just now.
Were you really?
I was doing false humility, but I didn't do it well.
You're good. See, I didn't even know you
No,
could.
I'm not really that good.
Yes, you are.
I wish
You're
I
a
was
legend.
better.
You're the youngest legend I know. I'd like to give up my legend spot for you.
Is that open? That's available?
It's available.
Your legend spot?
I don't want Bobby Lee. Always, does this intro about me being one of the top 100 comedians in Comedy Central. And,
Oh, right.
And
you were like number 63.
I wish I was 63. Why'd you have to bring it up? 79, son of a bitch. You know who's ahead of me? I always look at the guys that beat me out. Sinbad,
Yeah.
Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is...
So black guys shouldn't be ahead of you, you're saying?
I wasn't thinking that, but maybe subconsciously.
Yeah, it seems
I'm
like
being
it.
passive aggressive.
Right.
No, but I think that I think it's so funny to take anything like that seriously. I appreciate Bobby's sentiment of trying to give me a credit and all, but the idea of 100 first of all, 100 greatest comedians of what? The United States in a certain period.
Right.
Not the 100 greatest comedians of all time. Do you think the Byzantine Empire or the Ming Dynasty had a say in this? You know what I mean? Maybe they had a couple funny dudes laying around.
Right. And they were going after the government, so you never really heard about them.
Right.
They disappeared fast.
It disappeared fast in those days. But
He did one great show.
Well,
And
that
then
was
we've
it.
never heard from him again.
You remember not Love and Death, Everything You Want to Know About Sex?
Yeah.
When the king kept saying, he's not funny. Woody Allen was a jester, and he had a puppet just like,
right,
that looked
right.
like him. He was a court jester.
Right.
And I want to get the latch to the royal snatch. He was trying to get into Lynn Redgrave's pants. It was very funny.
It's funny. You kind of strain at showing your kids movies. There's movies that I think about, like, I can't wait till my kid is like 16 and we can
How
watch
many kids do you have?
Scarface. My son's 13 and my daughter's 11. And so, I just showed my daughter Splash last week, and it was such a thrill.
How'd she like it?
She loved it. Just to know that she's going to see John Candy, and she's going to love him. And but I didn't think about that. I think my son might be ready for some of the early slapsticky Woody Allen movies like Bananas or Sleeper.
Love and Death was one of my favorites.
Oh, Love and Death was brilliant.
My mother, folks. Do you remember when they were going off to war? They were fighting Napoleon.
Yeah.
And the Russians were all volunteering, and his brothers volunteered.
Thank you.
Thanks. Our producer, Greg, my man.
You got it.
Do you remember the part where they're going, they're all like signing up, and he goes, I would like to go, but I get a yellow streak down my back. It's not vertical, it's horizontal. And his mother goes, and I love this because he turns right to the camera and she goes, you will fight for Mother Russia and you will die for Mother Russia. And he goes, my mother, folks. Even my own mother's giving me up. But they got so many quick one-liners in that. Napoleon says to Diane Keaton, how do you find me as a man? She says, I think it's your best bet. I think it's your best bet. You have such beautiful skin. Yes, and it covers my entire body. He was fucking brilliant.
Brilliant. And I love that, people like Steve Martin and Woody Allen, that they can go from really jokey, and you see that the mind that can create really hard, strong jokes. Like that's a chess player. They can come up with jokes the way Woody Allen does, or gags like Steve Martin did. And then you see them then go into long form. And even Louis C.K. was like this. He was a real hard joke guy starting out. And then you see that mind go into a different pacing, and it's just brilliant.
Did he write Conan's monologues or some of them?
Yeah.
See, that's so weird because that's so jokey and so unlike Louis now.
Right.
I
think he might have written mostly sketches, but everybody jumped in on monologues. I think the monologue guys were Brian Kiley. He's been there from day one and still writing monologue jokes. Can you imagine the discipline that would take to look at? Because let's be honest, the news doesn't change that much day to day.
No, unless there's something catastrophic.
And you still need 40 jokes by noon.
Yeah, and I think some of that is the least funniest comedy because it only works for that day.
Right.
But, it's still hard. I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to sit. Jack Cohen sat in that room for years for Leno, and I can't imagine it. I mean, good for them if they can do it. But
I've done it, and it's a blast for a while. Because,
where did you do it?
Well, my first writing job was on Politically Incorrect, so I'd write the monologue jokes for
Were
Bill
you on
Maher.
it when I was there? Were you ever?
Probably. Back in New York.
Oh, yeah, I was on New York.
Yeah.
With Bill Maher?
Right.
Yeah, I was on a lot.
Yeah, so it was.
And then he moved to here.
He moved here.
But the good thing about there was he used to get a lot of D.C. people
Right.
taking the train up to do the show. You know?
Yeah, James Carville would come on.
Yeah.
And Ariana Huffington.
I was on a show one time, Greg, with Ray Davies from the Kinks,
No
Valerie
shit.
Harper, and this Republican guy. Now, they assume that because we're in show business, we're all left-wingers.
Yeah.
And they wanted to attack the Republican guy, but the whole thing got foiled and spoiled because the guy was a nice guy and
Yeah.
everybody liked him.
Right.
So there was no conflict.
Yeah.
You know, was it this?
Well, I feel bad sometimes when I watch Real Time, which is such a good show, but because they really do. The Republicans got to be either stupid or really ballsy to sit in that chair because you know Bill's gonna rip you apart, and you know that the person on either side of you is gonna rip you apart, but you come on anyway. And the people that can hold their own, the only way to do it is they have to have a sense of humor.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, you know what I have a problem with? The word liberal. To me, liberal means open thinker, open-minded, flexible. And I find, and I'm very apolitical, but I find like both sides being conservative.
Yeah.
You know, to me, like when I go to San Francisco, I know exactly, they're the most conservative liberals I've ever met.
Right.
Because I know exactly how they feel about subjects, just like you know how people in Alabama feel.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
anything that's knee-jerk. But the problem is the politics has shifted so far to the right that what had been the center is now the left. And somehow liberals allow the right to dictate the tone of politics. And Democrats, whenever they say something, they're always saying it with the sort of like they're forecasting how the Republicans are going to react to it, whereas Republicans just go, no, fuck it. We're going to say, no, you can't control multiple gun cartridges with 1,000 rounds. Nope, we're going to get behind that, as opposed to going like, well, let's go into this a little bit compromising.
Yeah, rarely do we get on subjects sometimes we do, but I can't understand why anybody anywhere needs something. You got a message?
Should I take this call?
Yeah, take it.
It's this guy, Ross Abrash. He's doing some writing for me today. Hey, man.
It's Russ Abrash.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on.
I got Paul
I'm
Castronova.
doing Dom Irerra's podcast right now, and you're on it. This is Ross Abrash. He was a writer for Saturday Night Live. He wrote most of Norm Macdonald's stuff on SNL. He was a Letterman writer. What were your other big credits?
I wrote for Arsenio Hall.
For Arsenio Hall?
Arsenio Hall.
Wait a minute. You're going to say all those guys and then say Arsenio Hall? No, I like
No,
it.
I know. I mean, I work for some other shows, but I don't really remember. I take a lot of pills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a
Oh, you got a lot of nice credits. Congratulations, brother.
Yeah. Anyway, what's up? I'm in the middle of the podcast.
Well, I want to try and write some jokes for Greg Fitzsimmons,
Right.
but I have to know how to. I have to talk to him about how to do it if I'm going to do that.
All right, let me call you in about 50 minutes, and then I'll give you all the details. I appreciate it.
Greg Fitzsimmons doesn't need your help.
Now.
What's
Give me all
that?
the deets. You said we say the deets now. Give
The
her
deets. I'll give you the deets.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Ross.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bye.
I'm running a pilot for country music television, and
You're going to be in it?
now I'm the showrunner.
Oh, wow.
Right.
That's some serious money if that goes.
Oh yeah.
11 and 13, the kids will be happy.
Oh man, you got to get that college money. Got to put it away. I'm all set except for college.
Well, you know, it's so fucking overrated, too.
I know.
College is it's such a rip-off.
Fucking rip-off.
Everybody's ripping somebody off, and it kills me that coaches make $10 million, and a kid can't make money on his own image on a T-shirt.
Right.
It's fucking bullshit, and college is such bullshit.
Well,
Because-
college, I think there's going to be a change. It doesn't seem like there's like a couple.
They have to lower them. I mean, the prices are ridiculous, and they call themselves nonprofit organizations.
Right.
Nonprofit, my ass.
Yeah, nonprofit's a kind of a nebulous term now. It's
Yeah.
when the CEOs are making $10 million a year, that sounds like a little bit of a
It's
profit.
nonprofit for you.
Right.
We'll have to put 2 kids through. 13, that's 8th grade, right?
Yep.
And 11 would be 6th.
Yeah.
I used to teach 4th.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. But
Fourth is a That's a great year to
Great.
grab
Oh.
kids and make sure that they
That's-
don't become fuck-ups.
But it's also like a Tom Sawyer, Becky Thatcher year where
Yeah.
they're just kids.
Right.
And it's beautiful. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much fun. The only thing I hated about teaching was getting up in the morning. I
Yeah.
loved the kids. I had so much fucking laughs with them. Now they're grown up, and it's
Yeah.
they come and see my shows.
Oh, no shit.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's very cool.
You taught in Philly or L.A.?
Philly,
Yeah.
inner city, in the hood.
That's right, man.
Mr. Irerra, Mr. Irerra, you so. One little girl said this to me one time. I go, Mr. Irerra, you so nice. You not white. You Italian. Like being white was bad, so she wanted to make me something more neutral.
I love it.
Tanya Batts was her name.
Yeah.
I love those kids.
My son's got a kid in his class. I don't know if I should say his name, but his last name is DeButts.
The butts.
DeButts.
We had a kid called Toto Modem. I like
Nice.
that one. Nice alliteration.
We had a kid named Nunzio Ramo.
Nunzio.
He was Italian.
Is he?
Nunzio Ramo.
Better be Italian with Nunzio.
Right.
Hey, did you know Rich Seitzler?
I just, the whole ride over here, I was talking to people who were at the funeral yesterday. Yeah, he was a very close friend of mine. I used to.
Oh, I'm sorry, brother.
I stayed with him for years in Waltham in his
Wow.
place. He was like a real mentor to me.
Yeah, because I know you go back to those Boston days.
Yeah.
And you and Rogan worked together a lot, right?
We were like roommates when we first started.
Yeah.
He was dating my roommate, so he lived in my apartment for
He
like
was-
literally the same week. We started comedy like the same week.
That's right. I heard you say that.
Yeah, but Seitzler was a guy who is he's one of those guys that, it's like if you had never left Philly, that's what Rich Seitzler was to Boston.
Right.
Like a brilliant guy who could have really been successful and been on TV a lot and
Yeah.
all that. There's like 5 or 6 guys like that in Boston. Like Gavin and Sweeney and Rogerson.
Oh, yeah.
But Seitzler was his timing was as good as any comic I've ever seen.
I've told those guys, you're welcome to come out here. I told Sweeney, because Sweeney, Dom, big deal, Dom from Hollywood, Cal. I said, Steve, you come out there. You're
Right.
welcome out here.
Right.
It's not like, I'm from Philly,
Yeah. And with the podcast now, like Seitzler was going to come out and stay with me this fall, and he was going to do Maron's podcast and mine. And what a genius move. As a Boston comic, come
Yeah.
out here and fucking hit the major podcasts and then
Yeah.
go back home again, and it's going to help your draw.
It's a great accent for a guy. A little,
Oh.
for a woman from Charleston. Is it Charleston or
I dated Sue
Charlestown?
Costello for
Oh, really?
a while.
Could you beat her in a fight?
I would like to think that I could, but at the same time, when you're talking about a Boston Irish,
Yeah.
they will get a knife, they will grab a chair, a shard of glass. They're not going to lose the fight.
I used to have a bit about I'm mental and I never forget.
Yeah.
Because this I used to get, though, you better fucking kill me.
Yeah.
Because if this one finger lives, I'll haunt you with it. And I'm mental and I never forget.
If there's one finger left.
I'll jump up and down like a slinky and come up your steps. I'll poke you in your fucking eye.
You better not only kill me, you better fucking burn the body.
That's right.
The teeth.
Even if the tip of the cuticle lives, I'll infect your foot with it. That's how fucking crazy I am. You remember those guys? The fighting?
Well, it's a real art before the fight starts, especially with Italian guys. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Like, Irish guys will just punch you in the face. Italian guys, the shirt's got to come off.
Hey,
the jewelry comes
you
here.
start-
Hold my watch.
It's like the ostrich dance.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's a matter of like, can you actually intimidate the other guy into backing down? And yet at the same time, if you're smart, you give him an out. You can't make it so that when you're doing the ostrich dance, you can't make it so the guy's humiliated if he stops. It's got,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's that little out that you can give him where you can both walk away and save face, but both look tough, like you were ready to fight. The Irish guy doesn't play, he just punches you in the face.
Motherfucker. Well, the last time I've seen street fights is in Boston.
Yeah.
You remember the Rack,
Yeah.
Paul Barkley owned?
Right.
I saw about 4 or 5 fights in front of that place, and it was Friday nights.
Faneuil Hall.
Yeah, but I mean between that street between Faneuil Hall and where whatever that little street was back there, and they fought like regular, like no guns, no knives. I'm not saying those were the days, but in a way they were the days because people weren't getting killed; they were just getting beaten up.
Right.
And I remember so many guys, and you knew they didn't go home from work because they had dress shirts and ties on. Drunk.
So they'd been drinking
they've
since
been
5
drinking-
o'clock.
Right, exactly. Happy hour.
And now it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Faneuil Hall is like Boston's so puritanical. Like everything closes at 2 a.m. on the dot. And so they throw these guys out, and the guys from Dorchester and Southie, if they are not with a woman, they are going to fight somebody.
Right, they're pissed off.
They're pissed off, and you go to the food truck to get a sausage, and all it takes is one guy.
Yeah.
What are you looking at? And all of a sudden, you got 8 guys with their shirts off, and it's crazy.
I miss those Boston days. I'm going back to that club, Laugh Boston.
I was just on the phone with John Tobin driving over here talking about Sisler. He's the guy that owns it.
John Tobin?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw him in Montreal.
Right. He told me he was up there.
Yeah, because him and his wife were watching one shows that I was hosting. Killed. Not
Nice.
a bragger, it's a gift. No.
Nice.
Actually, it was the show I had to run out of because I had to do a TV show. It was fucking aggravating. It's a different story. But I love that club.
Yeah.
I love the club, not only for, that I'm in Boston, but which is one of the coolest, I think the best city in the Northeast. I hate to say it, because I'm from Philly, which I love, but it's a great city. And it's in the Westin, the comedy club. How fucking easy is that?
I know.
You walk downstairs,
Beautiful
you do a
hotel.
little bullshit set.
Good restaurant.
Yeah.
They feed you from the main restaurant.
So you work that club?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a good club, and it's the Boston crowds. I mean, and when you get them going, they're just really, really generous.
great.
They want to laugh. It's kind of like the music of Boston. Laughter is a really entrenched way of communicating for Boston people.
Well, it's one of the fun part of my club career was Boston.
Yeah.
Because for so many reasons, and even like prejudice reasons of like, when I was a kid, I hated Boston because I hated the Celtics because they beat up the Sixers.
Yeah.
All the time. And they were
course.
great. And so I hated them. And it really taught me a lesson in life because once I got up there, I realized, what did I hate? These people are more like me than any. They're the same that where I
Philly
came
and Boston, same thing. Irish and Italians with the blacks pushed off a little bit to the side, but still around.
Nice taste of black.
Right.
Yeah, but it was really an enlightening thing for me, because I remember when Magic made that baby, the junior hook. Do you remember he made that shot over McHale?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, do you follow basketball?
A little bit.
Okay, so
Not like I remember a shot from 1978.
Well, this was because this is a legendary. No, it was 86, something like that. Anyway, it was a big deal, and I remember everybody cheering, and I was for the Lakers. And of course, I didn't do anything, but I thought to myself, look at this. This is just like regular people it just taught me a lesson about life and about prejudice,
Yeah. I know that's one of the great things about being a comic is you travel the country and you're not going to the tourist attractions. You're dropped down in the heart of a city and the regular people are coming out, and you get to get the sensibility of whether it's Cleveland or Houston.
Yeah.
You really you learn a city from the inside out.
Well, where one of my biggest draws and where I'm most famous or popular is Kilkenny, Ireland.
Yeah, you told me that.
Isn't that funny?
Right.
But I mean, it just happened. It just happens that way. Like, a lot of us are regional comedians in the sense that we do much better in certain places. Like, you can't put me, I don't know about you, but you can't put me in Boise and I guarantee you I'm going to draw.
Right.
I
I did Salt Lake City and I really did not draw at all. And I was like,
Really?
wow, that was fucking painful.
And you got a radio show and a podcast.
Right. But you go to, I don't know if you find this, but when I go to techie cities like Seattle or San Francisco, Minneapolis, I find that the people really come out because they listen to podcasts. But if you go to like, Dallas, Texas, they're not big podcast listeners.
Yeah.
They more listen to like preachers and guys with
Well, you tested out really well on mine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because it's like, you're with like Rogan and Maron and who's the Italian guy that never stops talking who I can crack?
Tom Irerra?
Tom Irerra. He was on with Jimmy Kimmel. They did a guy thing.
Adam Carolla?
Adam Carolla.
Oh, right.
But you're up there.
Oh, thanks, man. That's nice to hear.
I know.
Shit.
Yeah, they were telling me about the ratings because they have, they have a list for everything.
That's what's great about podcasts. Is like, if you put your special on Netflix, you will never find out how many people watch it. They won't tell you. They know, but they won't tell you. Sirius XM, I have no idea what my ratings are. Nobody does.
Right.
They don't track them. But then you do a podcast. Not only do you know to the person how many people downloaded the podcast, they'll tell you what state they came from.
Wow, yeah.
How long they listened for. It's great.
Now,
and then you can tell your agent, hey, I seem to be drawing a lot of people in Denver, and they can then call the club and say, here's his numbers in Denver, and we think it might be a good play.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm amazed at some places I draw at. Like, I was always amazed that I drew more in San Diego than San Francisco. I have no idea.
No shit.
I used to draw in San Francisco back in the Alex Bennett days, but now, if I just on a even field, even playing field, like the club's doing the same amount of publicity,
yeah,
I do say it better in San Diego.
Why do you think you do well?
I have
in
no
San Diego?
idea. I have no clue.
Right.
I mean,
you go down there a lot, so you have a regular.
No, I don't go down. It's very hit and miss.
Yeah.
But I did the Laugh Factory had something at the Del Coronado, which, by the way, if you have 2 kids, you got to do next summer.
Oh yeah.
Fucking beautiful. It's where they did Some Like It Hot.
Oh no.
Remember
shit.
the movie Some Like It Hot? Yeah.
Oh, is it to have like an ocean view?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like right up on top of the hill there.
It's right on. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I know
beautiful.
that place. Famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wooden hotel. It's,
Yeah.
It's haunted. It's got it all.
Right.
But the kids would love it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, any gig where I can drive instead of fly is such a gift.
I know that's what cracks me up about Mike Lacey with the Comedy Magic Club, because he goes, it's an in-town gig. I go, but once it goes past the airport, it's not as in-town as you think. This is an in-town gig. I live a mile from here. Where do you live?
Venice.
Oh, thanks for coming, man.
Are you kidding me? No, it's great. Actually, I do my radio show for Sirius after this, so I can go straight there from here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Are we doing a show today?
My show?
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on it.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to do the radio show and podcast, though? We can line that up.
What do you mean, sometime?
Yeah, if we do my show, it's better to do it at Sirius, because then I do a 1-hour Sirius show, and then we just basically take a 5-minute break and then do the podcast.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
We'll see about like the end of August.
Probably beginning of September.
I can't do it. No, I'm kidding. That's fun.
I'm in Kilkenny that week.
What's your biggest draw? Like a short thing. Is Boston?
Boston was really good. John said that I was the biggest weekend that they'd had up until when I was there.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and then San Francisco I do really well. I'm trying to think. Denver I just did, and I just did okay. Austin I did really well. Minneapolis. San Francisco is tough because the Punchline's such a small room that you can feel really great about selling it out, but then you look at the number, it's like, well, there's 170 people.
Yeah, I know.
But I feel much better selling out 170 than sometimes I'll do an improv in, West Palm Beach, and the room's half filled, but you realize, yeah, but that's 228 people.
Yeah.
That same number in another club would have been sold out.
They can seat like 700.
Right. You bring in 400 and you feel like a loser.
I said, why would you make a room 700 people? Because anybody can fill 700 people who's going to do a theater.
Exactly. Especially when they want you to do 5 shows that weekend. That's 3,500 people.
Oh, yeah, give me a break.
Yeah. But for a lot of comics, it's about performing in a space that you enjoy. Like clubs, good comics seem to prefer, like Dave Attell and people, they'd rather go into a club and really be able to build material and have that feeling of, interacting with the audience. Theaters are, it's nice. Obviously, the money's great, and there's a certain prestige with it, but I don't enjoy it, and I don't play theaters, like I don't draw theaters, but if I'm on a show with other people where it justifies a theater, I just don't feel that comfortable because
it's not the same.
It's cold.
I mean, my favorite gig right now for a theater is by far the Tropicana in Atlantic City.
Oh, yeah?
It's 2,000 people, and I can fill it because I'm from Philly.
No shit, wow.
But they give me a billboard and all that shit, so... But even there, I love it, but it's not the same as a comedy club because it can't be.
Right.
It can't be. You can't see people. It's a theatrical performance.
Yeah.
The 3,000, 2,000 is as big as I want it to be.
And then your timing changes. You have to slow down.
Oh yeah, because you got to wait. Well, I used to open for Sheriff for 20,000 people, and that's like a wave of laughter.
Yeah.
You actually have to wait for the wave to start rip-tiding back. And
right.
But you ever done that? The arena stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, I did what was the theater in Boston?
The Wilbur?
No. The big one. It's a hockey arena. It holds like 10,000.
Oh wow.
They did the Comics Come Home. You ever do the Comics Come Home?
Yeah,
show?
yeah, I've done it.
Yeah.
It's BU's hockey play.
Exactly.
For Dennis Leary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one doesn't feel that way. That one feels
That's great.
tight.
Yeah. I think it's 7,000.
Is that it?
I think. But,
Yeah.
But that's a good room.
It's a good room. I
Yeah.
think maybe that's the breaking point. Maybe once you get above 7,000, it turns into. Also, if they're there to see Cher, they're not getting the jokes as quickly as the people in Atlantic City that came to see you.
Yeah, but she has an eclectic following. I got to say, it's not like I wouldn't. I opened for Joan Jett and the Blackhearts once. Believe me, that was not my crowd.
Right.
Cher at least is funny and has a hit
right.
movies, and it's you'll
Very
see,
gay, I would imagine.
You'll see a grandmother next to a transvestite.
Right.
A grandmother with her granddaughter, and the transvestite's there who looks hotter than Cher,
Right.
which is kind of sad.
You must hear this all the time, but what is Cher like?
I think that I really like her.
Yeah.
I really do. I wish she could enjoy life more. For somebody who's more, she's a bit afraid of going out. I understand, but like I told her, you don't look like Cher when you go out.
Yeah.
Like put a baseball cap on, look like a t-shirt.
Oh, she doesn't like going out in public.
She doesn't like going out. No.
Yeah,
And
I
she
can see
really
that.
she misses a lot.
Yeah.
She would ask us about it. Like we went on the safari and she couldn't go. So how was tonight? Where'd you go? And
Oh, no
I'm
kidding.
thinking, just come with us.
Right.
One night she came with me, and just we're having ice cream, Baskin Robbins in Montreal, and a fucking guy recognizes her, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, "Aren't you? What's her name?" And she goes, "Who could ever forget what's her name?" Which was a pretty good answer.
Yeah.
But I thought nobody's going to recognize her, and he did. I don't know how he did with the cap on, but
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a curse to me. I think that being at the level of success that you and I are at, which I think is, in the same ballpark, basically, we're able to draw, but at the same time, we're not accosted on the street, but we're also recognized.
Yeah.
Recognized to the point where it feels nice.
yeah.
It's not like, oh, not again, please.
And I don't look for it, because
Right.
I think at gate 10, I could be signing autographs. At gate 11, I'm totally anonymous.
Right.
And I know that. My airports, I can tell you, they change.
Yeah.
If I'm in Philly airport, it's a lot different than being in Portland.
Yeah.
You
Boston, people recognize you, and it's also, I think, people may recognize you in certain cities, but not say anything. Like in LA, people tend not to say something because they're being cool. It's LA.
Yeah. Well, what they do out here, which I really think is kind of classy, is they don't say they recognize you until after you put the tip in. You know what I mean? But because like I've been to places where they go, "Oh, you are famous." I used to watch you this and I'm thinking, like now I got to give them a celebrity tip. I tip good anyway.
Yeah.
But
Well, I was at this club in, what the fuck was it? Indianapolis? Morty's comedy joint?
Morty's.
Indianapolis?
no,
It's
no,
this
no.
club, and it's a really nice club. It's set up great. The guy that runs is great, but it's in a mini mall that's just really fucking deathly at night. There's nothing. And the food's not the greatest at the club. Should I say all this? And
You can always edit it out.
great. No, I don't care. He knows. And so Saturday night, I'm kind of like,
So when are you at Morty's again?
I said he's a nice guy and the club's great. But I said I'm going to go to the sushi place on Saturday night between shows. What am I thinking? It's fucking Indianapolis.
Right.
And I go in, it's a Saturday night, and the place is huge, and there's like 5 people in there, which I should have known. All right, that's the third strike.
Yeah.
And so I go in, and I sit down, and the waiter comes over, and I mean, he's falling over himself. Oh, my God, Greg Fitzsimmons, I listen to the podcast. I love you on Howard. Blah. And I go, oh, cool. And I order some edamame, yellowtail, and a roll. And it comes out, the miso soup is like a bowl of fucking salt.
Yeah.
And it's like tastes
It's always
mealy.
a bad sign.
And I'm just like, all right, so I push it to the side, and then the sushi comes out, and the sushi is, I can't chew through it. It's so fucking bad. It's like shoe leather, and it tastes fishy in a bad. So anyway, I just basically.
You're not supposed to really chew. It's supposed to melt in your mouth.
Right.
Sushi. If you're chewing, that's
So
a bad
I push
sign.
it all aside. I don't eat it.
Yeah.
And then now I feel bad. The guy he's checking me. Is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah. And he brings me the check, and then I got to tip him well on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
And you just go like, fuck it. What am I going to make a scene? I'm never coming back here.
Right.
And the guy's a fan of mine, so you just want to come off as the nice guy. But I'm a kind of a pain in the ass with customer service if it's not good.
Well,
Like
some pla-
if things are bad, I complain about them.
Yeah, I don't complain until after, because I'm always afraid they're going to do something to my food.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because I was a waiter and I did a few things.
Did you? No.
Oh, yeah.
Like what?
Fingernails in the beer. I mean, there was an Irish bartender. Him and I were buddies, and the people were being really fucking obnoxious.
Yeah.
And I remember just like picking it. I said, you know, whatever, say his name was Terry. Terry, these people are out of control. He goes, is that right, Dom? And then he'd start peeling off the fingernail. And you'd see this beer, you'd see like 2 fingernails at the bottom of the glass. I can't get in trouble for that, right? Statute of limitations. It was 1942. Yeah, we did a few things. I remember, I won't name the guy because he's a really big producer right now, and he's got a couple shows on the air. But you probably know him. And he did a thing he hated this guy in New York, and I don't even want to name the place because I could trace it back. And he would spit on his English muffin, and it looked like butter. You know what I mean? Like the bubbles.
Oh,
like
God.
And he would stand there.
Oh, that's vile.
And he was real gay. Enjoy. You know, and he'd just stand there. Enjoy. I remember one gay guy, like, you know, gay guys could be so fucking funny.
Yeah.
This guy, Henry, these people kept asking for more water. For their tea, more water. And Henry got fed up, and he just stood there, and he just kept pouring it, and it went over the cup, over the saucer, onto the table, and he went, enough. Only gay guys could get away with that.
Yeah, I was a caddy, and a lot of times I'd go out, and the guy would have a bag. You know, you're allowed to have 14 clubs. And this guy would have like 17 clubs. And then there would be a bag of range balls in the bag. And this is back when they were like those big Ram bags that were leather, and they were like the size of a fucking Prius. And then he would have range balls in it. So I would wait until I was way up ahead, you know, because the caddy goes out 100 yards and waits for the guys to hit. And I would just take clubs, and I'd fucking wing them into the woods, and I'd hit golf balls into the woods. And by the end of the round, the bag would be about 15 pounds lighter.
He didn't see you?
These guys were a million years old. No, you'd go up. It was a hilly course.
I see.
So you'd go over. You'd be at the top of the hill.
Right.
So that when they hit, they couldn't see where the ball was landing. So you're up there looking out for the ball.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Did you play? Do you play?
Yeah, I play a lot.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I just try and shoot pool with Rogan, which is a fucking losing proposition.
Right.
I've really gotten good at racking.
No, he says you're really good. I've played with you. We've played.
Yeah,
We're about the same.
I think you were better, but we played at the Improv one night.
Well, I'm being falsely humble.
No.
What was it? What was the phrase before the modest?
Passive aggressive?
No, falsely modest.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, the guy who shrugs off. Yeah, but it was no big deal. Like 2 Emmy awards. So what?
I got 4.
And people that win. Yeah. Right.
No big deal. I find that the games with Rogan are much more of a tutorial. Like, you play with him, and it's fun to compete, but at the same time, it's like I'm getting so much more out of it than him because I'm watching all the techniques, and he'll tell me about like how to fix my bridge and
I know.
how to set shots, and it's whatever sport you're playing. If you're playing with somebody who's better than you, it's such a fucking.
It's very hard to go above that level. You
Yeah.
know, I remember. Did you play basketball?
Not that much.
I played a lot. Like
Yeah, I know.
basketball
You got a college scholarship, but you
Well,
didn't take it.
I played. Well, yeah. I mean, how'd you hear that?
You told me. You're being falsely modest.
That's the theme of today's show: false modesty. I could jump. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I could jump like a fucking motherfucker.
No shit.
Yeah, which was funny because it was like. That's all I practiced. I practiced jumping all the time. Like, I don't know if this is good for a podcast. It might be most boring thing. But I had a jacket, a weight jacket, and I used to drive people nuts. I would just try and touch the ceiling, and I had ankle weights. So by the time I was like, I was never tall, but man, I could jump. Yeah, it was fun.
So it was surprising for them because you were small, so they would take a shot thinking they were safe.
Yeah.
And you would spring up.
Yeah, and the brothers were always surprised.
Yeah.
Because they didn't expect the white guy to jump as well as them.
Right.
Because it's a very racial game in that sense. Like,
Well, I mean, not to be prejudiced, but like we're at Venice Beach yesterday watching a pickup game, and the white guys play one way and the black guys play another way. The white guys they're on the perimeter, they're making passes, they're making layups, they're playing strong defense, and then a lot of times you see black guys that are just driving to the hoop with flash, slam dunking,
Yeah.
hanging back, not playing a lot of not playing a lot of defense.
No defense. Well, yeah, that's why it's amazing, like somebody like Kevin Love. I mean, because of our culture and because kids grew up playing extreme games and all that. Now, like your boy, does he play basketball or does he ride a skateboard?
He plays a lot. Yeah.
Does he?
And he skateboards, but yeah, mostly basketball.
But these guys, you know, they grew up. The black guys grew up playing basketball now,
Yeah.
and so a white American is very rare in the NBA.
Right. Well, it used to be the Catholic schools would produce a lot of good white players.
Yeah, the point guards.
And they really were. The reason why they were passers was that was very parochial. You were taught to bounce pass and to, right.
The bounce pass.
Setting up good, strong picks. And, you know, it wasn't about, it was almost like, it's almost like Catholicism where you're shamed for trying to be the center of attention.
Yeah, right.
You're humbled all the time. So why would you drive to the hoop?
Do you have that in your head still? Any prayers and stuff? Or
Yeah.
Do you like? Are you superstitious?
Not extremely, but definitely there's times where I go, wow, did you seriously just, hold your breath going past the cemetery? Like, I'll really do things like that.
I think I said this on this podcast before. This is how crazy I was. Right? When I was an altar boy, and we had to like bend in to say like the Confiteor and these different prayers.
Yeah.
I would never point my dick at the tabernacle because I felt like I was pointing my dick at God. I felt like it was so I would like always like turn like sideways a little on my knees. Is that fucking crazy?
Well, the crazy thing is you should have been hiding your ass in the church.
I didn't know that then. Well, we used to get molested by this one guy. I never got touched.
That's a great sentence. A real throwaway casual sentence.
I never got molested by him, but because I used to sleep with, I was afraid of the dark, and I used to sleep with a flashlight under my pillow.
Yeah.
You know, like under my sheets. So this is a summer camp, but he used to lay for kids and wait. I guess he knew who the heavy sleepers were, and he would like
Yeah?
jerk them off in their sleep and stuff. Yeah.
And you could see all this with the flashlight?
No, I never saw it. I knew he did it though. He used to wait outside. He was such a fucking creep. And he had like the curvature of the spine, kind of like even like more like trolly.
Yeah.
And he used to get kids, and nobody squealed at him because he was a priest.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we had good priests at my church. They were all.
Are they really?
Well, it turns out I found out later they were banging a lot of the wives in town.
But isn't that refreshing?
Absolutely.
Like, that feels. I mean, it's
Well,
so.
they're men. They deserve it. They work hard.
But child molestation is so heinous that when you hear he was just fucking somebody's wife, you think, well, good for him.
I know. Right.
God bless him.
Yeah. Yeah. He was helping the marriage.
Where'd you grow up in Boston?
No, in Tarrytown, New York, just north
really?
of the city a little bit.
Why? What is your connection with Boston?
I went to college there,
Where'd you go?
Boston University,
Oh,
and then I
Great school, huh?
I started. Yeah, it's great. And I started doing stand up there, so I stuck around for about 3 years after I graduated.
what a
so-
great place in those days to
I
do
know,
stand-up.
I
This is
know.
like in the
So
early
lucky.
90s.
Early 90s, and there was I was going through a photo album because I was looking for pictures of Seisler when he died, and I used to keep this photo album when I first started of literally every time my name was in the paper, like a clipping in the local paper for like appearing at Uncle Bozo's out in Framingham, and I had a list of all the clubs in Boston at the time, and this is all within 5 miles of each other. 7 nights a week, there was Play It Again Sam's, Nick's Comedy Stop, Comedy Connection, Duck Soup, Dick Darty's Comedy Vaults, Stevie D's. Did I say Stitches already?
No.
Stitch. There was 7 full-time 7-night-a-week clubs. And here I am just starting out. So there was like a need for comedians. If you had
That's
10
incredible.
minutes, you could run around and do sets every night.
This is
And
in the city? Or
this is in the city. This isn't counting.
This is not the Kowloon and all.
Oh, the Kowloon, I mean, and then,
Kowloon was in Saugus, by the way, in case you're taking notes.
and then you step it out a half hour around Boston, there's another 30 rooms
Wow.
that you could work that were paying real money, all cash, great crowds, places packed every night.
But now you can understand why some of the guys didn't leave. Because in their defense, they were making such a good living. Why would they want to go be humble in New York or
Yeah.
L.A.
Yeah.
when there are stars there?
Right.
I mean, I know that strategically it's a tough one because then you get older and the clubs start closing and then you're stuck.
Well, that's what happened. A lot of them
Yeah.
are stuck, and now, like Rich, he died doing a cruise ship, and
He didn't die from a virus on a cruise ship, did he?
No, but I really believe that the medical care he got in the Dominican Republic was so bad. I really believe he'd be alive today if he'd been in an American hospital.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the stories they told me about it. I was getting emails every day all week about it.
See, I didn't know you were that close to him. I'm very sorry for your loss, but it's like I heard so many different stories. I heard that he had some rare disease. I heard he contacted something on the cruise ship. You know, like I heard like three or four
I don't
different...
think he contracted it from the cruise ship, but he was misdiagnosed at first, and then by the time, and then the main doctor at this real shit, I think he was in Haiti first, and they moved him to the Dominican Republic, which is like, you know,
not that much of an upgrade,
right? Yeah, we're moving you from fucking Saugus to Chelmsford, and so
maybe Lynn. They would talk.
Yeah,
to
if
people.
things get bad, we're going to airlift you to Lynn. And so they were going to airlift him out, and they couldn't because he ended up with pneumonia in his lungs from it. So they had to deal with it down there, and they had Mass General on the phone every day trying to guide these guys through it.
Jeez.
But they just he had a respiratory infection, and they didn't have him moving around enough, and so it settled into his lungs, and
He like drowned.
well, they induced a coma after a while,
Jeez.
and I don't think he came out of the coma. So so it really is. These cruise ships are, what we do for a living is, look, we're not soldiers, we're not going off to war, but the incidence of substance abuse, overdosing, obviously traveling, it just you raise the chances of getting sick, not getting proper care. And you and I both know a disproportionate number of people that have died because they were comedians, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't drink anymore, right?
No, I haven't drank in 19 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's that in Irish time? It's like 100 years.
It's just an embarrassment for the family. I don't know about time. It's just really like, what the fuck? We drink more than you.
You ever get people trying to get you to drink again?
Yeah, there's a lot. Like, I do a bit about it now. How people always want to make you feel like a pussy. They're always like, they'll be like, hey, man, you want to do a shot? And I'll say, no, I quit. And they go, oh.
Yeah.
You want a Coke? It's like, no, I don't need a Coke or a balloon or a lollipop, just clarity. And so now I cut them off. And when they say, you want a shot? I go, shot? Let's get some heroin. And they're like, whoa, whoa. And then I say, all right, well, just give me a Coke, pussy.
Well, I mean, the thing is, what kills me is like trying to guilt you into it, because I drink, but I would never do that to you or
Right.
anybody. I respect whatever it makes you feel better. It's like, you can't have one shot with me.
Right.
I've known you for 15
I
years.
know.
One fucking shot. It's gonna turn you into the werewolf. Come on,
Right,
one
right.
shot.
Yeah.
For old times.
It's amazing because it really is. It's a need that people have because I think drinking is a social thing. It's a way of bonding. I think it opens up your emotions and you do feel closer to people. You
Yeah.
laugh more. And so they want you to be a part of it. It's a ritual,
I have a friend in Ireland who actually said a guy stopped drinking. He said, I don't trust him anymore.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh, yeah. Believe me, Dom, I feel that from people all the time, especially people that, I grew up drinking with, and now they still drink and I don't. I absolutely feel a disconnect and a little bit of wariness.
How about pot?
Yeah, I smoke a little pot, which is weird. I'm not an AA guy.
Yeah.
I went to meetings for a while, and I learned a lot, and it definitely stays with me. But, for me, I think alcohol is a real chemical problem in my family. My dad died at 51, and
Oh, boy.
my grandparents all had it, aunts and uncles all have it, and so I just knew early on that it was not,
Yeah, I don't have that in my family, but I would consider on some levels I'm an alcoholic, but
Yeah.
I have the weirdest thing, chemically, I don't crave it.
Yeah.
Like I can really get fucked up, stupidly fucked up, and then I don't, it's like last night I didn't have any drinks, but I didn't miss it or anything.
Yeah.
So
Did you quit last year for a while?
Yeah, I quit because somebody told me you couldn't quit.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off. I said, I'll quit for 3 months. They said, no fucking way. And they said, if you have one drink, you go right back to it. I said, that's bullshit too. For me.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying for other people. So what I did was I calculated something. I was going to fly to Vegas with my ex-wife. We were doing a show. And at Burbank, and you can only get one drink. They said, if you have one. So I knew that I could only get one drink.
Over 3 months.
No. Oh, this was after 3 months of not drinking. But I wanted to have one drink just to prove that I could drink one and not have to have another one.
Yeah.
And I had the one. She goes, "How do you feel?" I said, "I feel a little more than I would normally feel it because my body's not used to it." I said, "I'm fine." She goes, "Do you want another?" I go, "Yeah, but I don't need it."
Uh-huh.
And I didn't drink again for another month or so.
Yeah.
But it does. It's very tough. It's very tough when you. I mean, I blame it when you go to Ireland. It's really tough because
Yeah.
it's such a cultural thing.
And nobody stopped drinking there, right?
No, I don't know anybody. Well, Tommy Tiernan, you know Tommy?
Yeah, right.
Tommy stopped for a couple of years. He's
Uh-huh.
drinking again, but he was the only one of us of the group of guys. Because I've been going there for 20 years.
Yeah.
It's like I really know these guys. It's like we grew up together, and he's the only one I know that really tried to quit and did quit, and
Yeah.
now is back on it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's
doesn't-
hard. It's hard to be surrounded by it. Speaking of quitting, I got to run. Oh, holy shit!
What time is it?
What time is it?
We can't end a podcast with what time is it? Can we?
2:30? Oh no!
No, it's got to be later than that.
My watch broken? It's 2:30. Yeah, no. Can we go a little longer?
Yeah, we'll do like about an hour.
Okay. What time do we start?
Well, you got here at 2:37,
1:37.
1:37.
Okay, good. So let's do at least an hour. But I want to talk a little bit about this special that I did because it's on Hulu now. Can I promote that?
Absolutely. Now, whatever you say, this won't be out for about 3 weeks.
That's fine.
Just know that.
Yeah, I did a special in Tarrytown where I grew up. There's this theater that holds like 1,400 people,
Uh-huh.
built in 1885. And I went back there,
Oh,
and
that's cool.
my mom was there, and my sister and brother, and my
Uh-huh.
cousins, and all the kids I grew up with, and kids I went to college with came from all over the tri-state area. And I did my 1 hour special for Comedy Central, and then it just went up on Hulu. It's called Life on Stage. So I would love it if people go check it out and tell your friends because I get paid every time it gets viewed.
Oh,
I just
cool.
found out.
Really?
Yeah.
And I got to say, Greg is a great stand-up, not just a good one. And not to get Sammy Maudlin on you, but
Thank you.
Your work is. I love to watch you. I
Thank
love
you. That
when
means a lot to me.
I love when you come on the Tuesday night breaker with
Oh,
Wednesday
that's
night
the
shows.
best.
But yeah, anything else you want to say about your special? Or?
No, I guess it's just, for me, it was like I hadn't done a 1 hour special before. And so I had done 2 half-hour specials, but it's been a while since I did them. So it was really like I pulled together. I didn't feel like, oh, I'm only going to do the newest shit, because if people saw me 5 years ago, they'll know this
Right.
bit. I was like, no, I'm going to take the best bits that I've had. And, the longer you do it, the more your bits collect into
Oh yeah.
bigger chunks.
Yeah,
And so it was really like 5 big chunks of material.
You unconsciously edit too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're editing it, you're like whittling it down, and then you're adding on to it. And, it's one of the greatest parts about being a stand-up is like unconsciously building a bit just because you're excited about the idea, and other stuff occurs to you on stage or off stage. You get to keep adding on to it, and then it's almost like it becomes like a perfect Letterman set or Tonight Show set where you've got this 5 minutes on, whether it's swimming or, being attracted to your mother sexually.
You ever do it and then you realize you made it better after you did it on TV?
That's what's so hard about
So
putting...
frustrating,
I mean,
I
have
know.
you put out many CDs?
No.
Because that's why I could never put out CDs for that exact reason.
No, I'm not a good businessman.
No?
No, I have 1 CD and 1 DVD.
Wow.
And I work with opening acts who have like five each,
Yeah.
And
Do you sell your stuff after shows?
No. Do you?
Yeah, well, I didn't for a while, and then when I got this 1 hour special on DVD, so now I sell it after shows.
But can people download it and just get it that way?
Yeah, I think you can go to iTunes and download it, or you get a hard copy on Amazon.
Right.
But Hulu is really the way to go because I get paid that way every time.
Oh, that's cool.
It's great.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like, as a stand-up, like, it can all go away, but as long as I have things like, the podcast where you do some ads and you sell your merch and, you get little fucking trickles of money all coming in, and then you feel like, all right, I'm actually making a living at this without having to be on the road every weekend.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, mine is just out of laziness.
Yeah.
Like I'm bad at selling stuff, and I can't stand there and sell. And they say, well, hire somebody, but I'm still got to sign shit. And
Do you stand there after the shows and say hi to people?
It's all according to the size of the place. I mean, I can't if it's 2,000 people.
Right,
but you know,
right.
I like people.
Right.
I just some people just creep me out.
Yeah.
You know, I was at a place called Chicky and Pete's in Philly the other night. This guy just walks up and he stands like this close. You know, that
Yeah.
uncomfortable. He goes, "I just want to tell you, I'm a big fan of yours." I said, "Thank you." And I felt like saying, "Can you fucking back
Right,
up?
right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Can you sign this for me?" I could. Yeah, I don't have a pen. Oh, I got one. And then he just like, you know, he walks away. He's like,
Yeah.
he says, "I know I'm bothering you." I said, "Well, you know, because he was
Then
bothering
don't.
me."
Then
Yeah,
don't.
I mean, but like, I don't want to be a jerk. You know, like these show business people work so hard to be famous, then they get famous and they get pissed off.
Well, what's tough is that like almost all the people coming out, the energy is so positive. You've just performed. They've liked it. They've felt this collective experience where like you're up there and they're with, you know, whether it's 300-400 people, and they're part of this big thing. And now all of a sudden it's one-on-one. And for them, it's pretty exciting because they're interacting with somebody they weren't allowed to talk during, and they kind of wanted to talk the whole time.
Right.
And for you, it's kind of cool because you get adulation on a very personal level, but then it's that one person at every show that doesn't get personal space and who goes, "Hey, can I get a picture?" And you go, "Yeah." Then he puts his arm around you and his armpit is sweaty and it's on your shoulder, hands his phone to his wife,
Right.
who
She doesn't know
and
how to
it's
work
locked.
it.
It's locked.
Yeah.
And it's the password. And then and it's like
And you're
on all
standing there
the-
holding a guy for 3 minutes.
Right, and 50 people have now streamed out that
Yeah.
you haven't said thank you for
Right.
coming out. And so that to me is like, you know, Rogan's really good at it. I've seen him at the Ice
Joe
House.
smiles and stuff. He's
Smiles
great.
and he gets a line going, and he's really good at shaking hands and kind of moving them along
Yeah,
so
he
nobody
really is.
clogs up the line.
Yeah, I get a little bit creeped out by the physical space thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I
mean,
pushed a guy away from me in Edmonton one time.
Really?
I was just like, dude, get the fuck out of my... He was like this young hip-hop guy who was like bouncing up and down in my face, like, pointing, "Dude, you were fucking..." And I just pushed him. I go, "Hey, get the fuck out of my face, man."
Jeez. I know. I had a guy apologize to me about doing a bit. Stanley Ullman, you know him?
No.
Oh, God. He apologized to me about doing a bit of mine on a cruise ship. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't done it for 5 years. And he said, I said, "Stanley, it's okay. I had a spot at the store.
Yeah.
And then one here, whatever. And I go, "I just got to go." And he goes, he like pushes me a little.
Yeah.
He goes, "No, wait, I want you to hear this."
Right.
I'm thinking, "Don't fucking touch me."
Right, right.
You know?
Yeah.
I got to tell you one funny thing about age thing, and I don't know if this
AIDS?
age.
Oh.
Not AIDS. I got to tell you, I got a funny age story. You're gonna love this. You know how they thought that the guy was gonna make it, and he slipped away right at the end. Oh, it was a great story. No,
T-cell count was low, but all of a sudden,
the power of the media and Hulu and these things that you can make money and people see you, and it's like incredible. It's all changed, you know. I mean, in the last 10 years, it's remarkable. But anyway, with that said, I'm in Montreal, and I see a girl and her mom, apparently, coming up to me. And I could see they were, and the girl was, like, really nervous to meet me. And, like, I was one of the fucking Beatles or something.
Yeah.
She goes, "Are you Dom Irerra?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm a big fan of you." I said, "Oh, thank you." Not having any idea of her age, right? And the mom says, "Can we get a picture?" I said, "Of course." And she goes, "Well, her dad's got the camera." I said, "Well, you know, I'll wait here with her. You know, you go get him and it'll be cool." And I said to the kid, I said, "How old are you?" I'm thinking she's going to say 16. She goes, 12. I go,
Wow.
12? I said, "Are you 12 and you're a fan of mine?" She goes, "I've been a fan of yours since I was 7. Right? I said, 7? What parents let somebody watch me at 7? And she starts laughing at that. But can you imagine? I don't think I have that many single-digit fans.
And do you think it's from YouTube?
It's got to be. I
Yeah.
don't know where else it could be from.
It's probably YouTube. It's probably the show. I mean, kids don't watch TV. They're
yeah,
only
they watch
watching the
this.
internet.
Yeah.
And I think for stand-ups, it's a pretty great medium for us to get our material across. I mean, people can sit there and they can watch,
Yeah.
you know, a great 2 or 3 minute bit,
Yeah.
and then come out and see you.
Well, Sirius must help with plugging dates.
Yeah, that
huh?
helps a lot because
Yeah.
it's sort of like if you're on Howard's channel, you're sort of pre-approved by Howard,
Right.
And so you're part of the cult, and so they will come out of loyalty to the whole industry of Howard Stern.
I find that with Rogan's show, too. I
Yeah.
get people from just being on Joe's show.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm in Denver in September and in Vegas in September and October. I'm at the Laugh Factory has a club at the Tropicana, and then I'm that's in Labor Day. I don't know if this could
In
be out there.
Vegas.
Vegas, and then October 20th, I'm in Brad Garrett's comedy club, which is so fucking cool.
In Vegas also?
Yeah. Got
So you're
the
doing
hottest-
two different dates in Vegas.
Because Vegas is different than
Doesn't
Boston
matter.
or
It's who's
Philly.
in town that week.
Yeah, it's a different. The city changes.
Yeah.
And you could stay in the same place.
Right.
You could never do that in
Which
Philly.
one pays you more money?
Brad's.
Yeah. It's good dough.
Yeah.
Got to get me in there. I don't work Vegas at all anymore.
Really? I'll
Yeah.
get you in there.
Yeah.
I'll talk to him.
We should do that. We should exchange clubs that we get
Favors.
each other into.
Absolutely.
Like the mafia.
Hey, that's the way it works.
Yeah.
We all needed help at one point, you know.
Right.
Yeah, let me know.
I like going into a new market sometimes, and like with Salt Lake City, like that was just a really tough disappointment. But then you go into another city, you know, like I did Addison, Texas, which I hadn't done in years, and it was fucking just slammed it.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden you go like, wow, I know I'm doing that date at least for the next 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice feeling. I mean, I got booked. This is when you know it's going well. When the Tropicana, when I did it, the CEO comes down. He goes, before the show, he goes, when are you booked again? We've got to get you back in here. And I'm arguing with the guy, no, you know, like in a polite way, but I said, I don't want to come back too soon. I said, I got to write new stuff. And he said, oh, you know, he's trying to get me back in like 4 months. I go, I can't write that fast. I'm doing an hour.
No, and it hurts you. I did that in I won't say what city, but they brought me back like 6 months later, and the numbers were not anywhere near what they were the first time that I came into. The first time I came to work, I was like selling out every show. Second time I was like half empty.
Yeah, and it should be the opposite, but you should have another 6 months.
Yeah,
You know,
it should be
10 months to
10
a
months
year.
is perfect.
Yeah.
You know, more than that, once it's a year and a half, you lose some of that, electricity.
Yeah, you gotta
from the
make it
time
special.
before. Right.
Yeah, I'm going. I love the clubs in Florida.
Yeah, I'm going to
And-
Tampa in a few weeks.
Side splitters?
No.
Improv?
Yeah.
Why are you making that face? No, the money's bad?
It's just a big room.
Oh,
It's one of those big rooms where you gotta, it's got 2 balconies.
does it really? I
Yeah,
haven't
2
seen that.
balconies.
I do side splitters down there, and Bobby Jewell, the guy who owns it.
Right.
Well, we have a tradition. I do it the weekend of the NFC AFC playoffs. So
Is that good?
Well, yeah, because it doesn't interfere with Friday and Saturday.
Oh, because they're
So-
daytime games?
Yeah, it's on Sunday. And then
Oh,
we don't do
got
a
it.
show on
Got
Sunday.
it.
But then I do that, and then I do his club in Knoxville the next week. So it's really fun.
Yeah.
It's like a traditional thing.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually met him for the first time. We did, Cowhead down there?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Cowhead.
So Cowhead changed his name back to his real name, which is Mike Calta.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. Well, because he's syndicating.
Oh.
And he didn't think it would be good. Obviously, it's not good to be Cowhead when you're trying to go
I
outside
don't
of the
think
deep
you
south.
have kids growing up, and your
Right.
father's name is Cowhead.
Right.
Yeah.
So he had this thing where they did a roast for him, and it was a benefited some children's hospital. And we came down, and it was Jim Norton, Bert Kreischer, Bobby Kelly.
I worked with him, and I was just thinking of Bobby. He's terrific.
Bobby Kelly?
Yeah.
He's fucking great.
We had so much fun. I
Yeah.
did his podcast.
He's a really good guy, and
is a
he
good guy.
destroys on stage.
We had someone. He was on. We had this thing called the All Star Show in Montreal, which meant, as you know, because of the business, these guys are all stars in the sense of talent.
Yeah.
But they're not big enough names to fill the gala.
Right.
So like Bobby Kelly ain't funnier than fucking Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
But he's not as famous as Chevy Chase.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and there's a bunch of guys that he's a Boston guy.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Dane was in a little comedy troupe called Al and the Monkeys, and it was Al Dalbeni. You might know.
Yeah,
from
I
here.
know Al. He's in
So it was-
Australia now.
So it was Bobby Kelly and Al and Dane Cook, and there might have been a fourth guy, and they did a comedy troupe together in Boston for the first couple of years. Dane did comedy. That's what he did.
Uh-huh.
And Bobby, like to me, was always like just a real wise ass Boston guy. He's got the authentic Boston voice.
Oh yeah, and he's got a good sense of humor. You know what I did to him one time, and I only did it because I know him well enough and like him. We're doing the thing for Dennis Leary, and he had a really good set and was really running late. And Nick DiPaolo fucking loved this. I go up, Bobby Kelly, was he terrific? I said, I'm so strong. In 30 seconds, you'll forget about him. Right? I hear the fucking comics just roar. So I better deliver now.
Right.
But, you know, I wouldn't. It's so funny how comedy works. I would never do that to somebody I didn't like.
And that's the thing is sometimes comics do that shit, and I just go like, you didn't earn that, man. You know?
Yeah.
Like I found that I was at the Improv one night, and I went up and I happened to do this like long bit about taking a shit, and then this younger comic gets up and he goes like, how about it you have for Greg Fitzsimmons? Shit. And it was like, hey, I'll punch you in the fucking face.
That's the Irish I like.
You didn't earn that, you piece of shit. You've been doing it for, you got a manager now? You've been doing it 4 years? You got a manager? Is your manager in your ear telling you what a big star you're going to be? Because I can tell you your future right now. You're going to peter out, and you're going to be working fucking open mic nights, and then you're going to move back to Columbus, Ohio, and die alone. Yeah.
Well, at least you don't have any bitterness. Greg, thanks for being on the show, man.
Dom Irerra,
Love you,
always a
brother.
pleasure. I look forward to having you on mine
I will
very
be.
soon.
Thanks. Greg Fitzsimmons. Hulu, right? Say that.
Hulu, Life on Stage is the special.
All right, check it out.
Hulu.
Thank you. See you next time.
All right. God bless America.
Each time that I think of you, I get distracted by something more interesting. Whoa, people say I'm